I think it's safe to say that VSTAR Universe is easily the biggest Pokemon card set of the last 3 years. And as it's just come out today in Japan, I figured we'd do a buyer's guide and I'd run through everything you need to know about it, as well as my approach to some of the more exclusive items from the launch. Now, for a lot of people, VSTAR Universe is probably the first Japanese booster box that they'll ever buy. For that reason, I kind of want to do a quick rundown of what to expect. And it's really straightforward. A booster box of VSTAR Universe has 10 booster packs in it, and inside each pack are 10 cards, but there are a lot of cards to collect. There's ARs, there's SARs, there's SRs, there's URs. I'm going to run through them all because luckily we got to see a sneak peek of this set thanks to the official Pokemon card channel. Now, VSTAR Universe is basically the 2022 version of VMAX Climax, which means all the hit rates in this booster box are pretty much the same. You can always expect the baseline amount of ARs and one SAR and maybe one SR, but it's a little bit different this time with VSTAR Universe because there's a couple of new rarities introduced. In a booster box, you're always going to find 6 double Rs. That's basically the V cards you can see on the screen here. So you'll always walk away with about 6 of those. And then on top of that, you can also expect to find about 3 triple Rs. That's basically a VSTAR or a VMAX. You might find a mix of VMAX and VSTAR cards. Now, this is a reprint set for Japan, so you're always going to find a Radiant card. It might be a reprint like Radiant Greninja, or it could be a new card like Radiant Eternatus or Radiant Charjabug. But the main cards that have got everybody interested are the new AR cards. These are kind of like trainer gallery or character rare cards if you bought VMAX Climax, except they don't really feature trainers. They're more about Pokemon together, having fun in sort of like a community. You're almost always going to find 3 of these AR cards in a booster box, and they're always going to be in the 6th slot of the booster pack. So maybe you might find 4. That used to happen with VMAX Climax, but as a baseline, you're always going to find 3, which is nice. Now, part of what's making VSTAR Universe so appealing to new collectors are the new SAR cards. Now, these again are kind of like trainer gallery cards of the V and VMAX Pokemon. It's the new spin for 2022, and they look absolutely fantastic. You can see here there is a really nice Raikou V. You always find one of these in a booster box, and that was kind of expected. So there will always be one SAR card, but it's very important to take note of that SAR because VSTAR Universe introduces a new rarity type and I guess a new dynamic in Japanese booster box openings. Thank you, Poké Guardian, for collecting all of the new cards in one spot for us. Now, the reason why that SAR rarity tier is so important to take note of is because there is a new full art supporter style that has the SAR marking on it, which is a little bit different to what we've come to expect with sets like VMAX Climax, where the new full art supporter cards had an SR marking on them. They were always like an extra little bonus, maybe something else that you might find on top of the CSR card, on top of the Pokemon card. But it seems with VSTAR Universe, it might be one or the other. You might find a trainer full art supporter, or you might find a new Pokemon SAR like the Lucario V-Star. So I don't know how I feel about that because I've always looked at full art supporters as like an extra bonus to the Pokemon, and I collect Pokemon cards because I like Pokemon. Luckily for us, or maybe unluckily because this set is going to get very huge, there is also another rarity tier, which is SR. Now, in the first opening on the official Pokemon card YouTube channel, they actually pulled an SR card. It was a SR Energy with this different holographic emblem. You can see that it's got like the Pokeball sort of embedded onto it. That's kind of similar to GX Tag Team All-Stars. You always found an SR card in those booster boxes, but the SR was always a reverse holo or a super rare energy. So maybe what I'm thinking is you'll always find an SR. It just might either be an energy or it could be, yes, another different style of trainer card. We've seen a few leak. They haven't been officially revealed, but one of them is the Alessa Sparkle, which is a beautiful looking card. I absolutely love her jacket. How cute is her jacket? Or there's also the Volo. This is also an SR, and you can see the art style, I guess maybe the art direction for these cards is a little different to maybe the SAR Roxanne, where it's kind of hard to explain the difference between the two. I guess the art direction on these SARs is a little bit more bold, whereas with the SRs, like you can see here, Hisui Friends, it's a little bit more traditional. This is what we've kind of come to expect from full art supporter cards. And because SRs are full art supporters as well, and I know this is getting convoluted, that's Japanese Pokemon cards for you, it means that you could walk away finding 2 trainer full art supporter cards from one booster box and maybe no Pokemon SAR, which again, I like collecting trainer full arts, but I always like getting Pokemon too, so I'm not entirely sure how I feel about that yet. Now, this last bit is a total punt. I'm just going based on my experience with GX Tag Team All-Stars, VMAX Climax, and Shiny Star V, but there are also gold cards in this set. This isn't a surprise because we're all kind of expecting them, but there are new ultra rare gold cards. Now in the past, the UR cards have taken the slot of the SR card that you may or may not find because you don't always find these SRs. So I think the SRs could either be a full art supporter or they could be a reverse holo energy, which is going to be probably the worst case outcome from your booster box, or it could be one of these absolutely stunning gold cards, all illustrated by Akira Egawa. You have Origin Form Palkia, RCS VSTAR, and Origin Form Dialga there too. These are incredible. They're probably the best gold cards we've ever seen, and I'm really hoping I can pull some. So from one booster box, your haul should look something like this. 3 AR, 1 Radiant, 6 V, a mix of VSTAR and VMAX, 3 of those, 1 SAR, could be a trainer, you don't know, and 1 SR, could be an energy, could be a gold card, or could be another full art supporter. We just don't know yet. We'll find out probably today. The art rare is always the 6th card in the pack. The VSTAR or triple rare or SAR is always the 7th card in the pack. The Radiant is always the 9th card. And the Mirror Holo is always the 10th. As far as value for money goes, VSTAR Universe is well and truly going to deliver, but because of that, it is carrying a bit of a price tag on the import market. Let's call this first wave, Wave 1. Now, Wave 1 is selling for about 90 USD, 100 USD, about 170 Australian dollars, 100 pounds, and about 110 euros. Those figures are constantly changing because it's secondary market dependent. This isn't for sale outside of Japan, so if you're trying to buy it, you're importing it. First wave is going to be the most expensive. A lot of people are saying, is it going to restock or is it going to be limited? The fact is, this set is going to reprint, much like Shiny Star V did, much like VMAX Climax did, and even sets that are really expensive now, like GX Tag Team All-Stars did. Those sets are meant to get in players' hands. I've spoken about this before, but rest assured, there will be a 2nd, 3rd, 4th, probably a 5th wave, just as there's probably going to be a 5th wave or 6th wave of VMAX Climax this year. That 2nd wave is probably going to drop a week or 2 after the official release, which is the 2nd of December. And it seems like it's already pre-sold out, which is a bit of a shame, but it is how it is because there is just so much demand for this, not just in Japan, but all around the world, which means that 3rd wave is looking like a January or February drop. And I think that 3rd wave is when we're going to see a big influx of supply and when the prices are going to cool down a lot, because that's kind of what happened with VMAX Climax. Now I can hear you saying, how can we trust you, JLUV? Why don't you back those claims up with a source? My source is that I made it the fuck up. But in all seriousness, my claims are based on conversations I've had with suppliers, retailers, and friends in Japan who are trying to get VSTAR Universe. So I'm pretty confident in what I'm saying here. It's also based on experience with GX Tag Team All-Stars, Shiny Star V, and VMAX Climax, which all had sort of turbulent initial launches and then saw this huge influx of stock where the price completely plummeted and it came back down to the price that it should be. Now, when should you buy it? Now, I'm going to just be real frank with you here. I'm going to give you the investor take, my investor take, and it's not financial advice. And I'm also going to give you the collector take. The investor take is that now is probably the worst time to buy this set. Buying it at 2 or 3 times retail to then just sit on it for like 5 years doesn't make a whole lot of sense when next year it's going to be abundant in supply. I'm almost certain. And you're going to be able to buy it closer to retail and get more of the boxes, thus improving your investment. So that's just 101 stuff. I wouldn't go all in on it right now when the hype is high. You might be able to quickly flip it if you buy it at retail price, but if you buy it at 2 to 3 times retail and then try to sell it for like 3.5, 4, does that make a whole lot of sense? No, that's not a get rich quick scheme. That's just you trying to make an extra $20. It's probably not going to work. Now, if you're a collector, different story. I know what it's like. You want to open up the new thing. It's fun. And I'm probably going to open up a couple boxes. I was lucky enough to get, I think, 2 boxes at retail. And then I was happy paying 2 times retail for another 2 boxes. So that was my decision based on me wanting to have fun when it drops, because it's nice to have fun, isn't it? Everyone likes having fun. Having fun is what basically keeps us going in this world. This world is very bleak. And if you're buying it as a gift, good for you. What a really good friend. Whoever's receiving this from you, you're gonna be so happy. Well, if it's a gift, then I guess you're kind of stuck and you're gonna buy it now. I'm not gonna point you at stores because I really don't know, because everyone's just kind of doing their own thing. Just keep an eye out at the usual places. Maybe watch some of my older videos. You'll see I mentioned stores in some of those. But for the most part, it's a free-for-all, and it always is at this time of year. Maybe you don't want to buy booster boxes. Maybe you just want to buy the singles, and you're not sure whether to buy them at launch or a little bit later on. I think if VMAX Climax taught us anything, it's that you've probably got about 6 to 8 months to buy the singles, at their floor, which makes sense. There's going to be a lot of supply next year. There's not going to be a lot of supply now, so the singles are going to be more expensive. If you're trying to sell singles quickly, sell them basically as soon as you open them. Don't try and sell them next year. And if you're trying to collect singles, buy them next year when everybody's opening up boxes. It's so hard to make a call on this. All you can do is draw parallels to VMAX Climax. They're both similar size sets. The ARs and the CHRs are really similar. There's always 3 in a box. You always find one SAR in VSTAR Universe. You always find one CSR in VMAX Climax. And you might find a gold or a trainer full art supporter in the same way VMAX Climax had them too. So all you can really do is draw parallels there and then make an estimate. God packs are also back. So you might find a pack in a booster box that has 9 or 10 of this kind of variety of cards, which is incredible. And it's part of what makes high class sets so damn fun. If you go and look at the most expensive cards from VMAX Climax, Pikachu at launch was about 7,000, 8,000 yen. So that's about like $60 US, which isn't a whole lot when you look at the price of some other Japanese Pokemon cards. And the most expensive full art supporter, which was Gloria, was like 20,000 yen. So about 180 USD. And those all came down. Gloria was super cheap for a period of time, especially if you lived in Europe. And then it rocketed up after it was harder to get. So there's the trend there. Look at what happened with VMAX Climax. There was an abundance of it. VSTAR Universe, probably going to be the same thing. Now there's 2 extra products that are releasing alongside booster boxes of VSTAR Universe. The first is these jumbo card collections, and these are really fun. And I think they're designed to maybe draw the attention of kids that are really susceptible to marketing like this. Big, pretty colors and Pokemon right in your face. And it works on adults too. Basically, these are 1,980 yen, so about $20. That's super cheap. You'll find 2 booster packs of VSTAR Universe inside of them. And then you'll also find 2 of these jumbo cards. So the Lapras one has Lapras and Galarian Moltres. That is very jumbo. Jumbo cards are back in Japan. The Mew one has obviously Mew and the Oricorio, which is really cool. First jumbo Komiya card, I believe. And there's also a Latias card with Ditto. I thought this was Numel. I actually got debated by this. But yes, Ditto and Latias in this one. So I don't think these are going to be super limited. I think these are designed to draw people's attention to VSTAR Universe, and it's going to work, especially on a shelf. This will probably see a bit of a restock all throughout next year. And I think it'll kind of sit on shelves too, because it's honestly, the value proposition just isn't there. $20 for 2 packs plus a jumbo card. It's not the same. Everybody wants to buy the booster boxes to get the guaranteed hit. So these, I don't see them being that popular. This, on the other hand, is probably going to be the most, I'd say, slept on, because people always sleep on these when high class sets come out. But in my opinion, this is the best looking product from the launch of VSTAR Universe. This is the Diamond Clan, Pearl Clan special set. Now, when a high class set drops, we always get a special set kind of like this. VMAX Climax was the exception because Japanese Pokemon cards were going through a shortage of that period. So maybe they decided not to do it. They're bringing it back with VSTAR Universe. This is a special box that is donned with exclusive artwork. So the only place you can find it is in this product. You've got the Diamond Clan special set. So you got Adamant and all the members, all the NPCs related to the Diamond Clan or affiliated with them. And then you also got the Pearl Clan. So you got Irida front and center and all the characters affiliated with the Pearl Clan, like the lovely, lovely Polina, who is fronted. She's the biggest character on the box. Finally, justice for Polina. Finally. These are going to look stunning on a shelf. So if you're a sealed collector, this is a product that you're going to be want to go after. I've bought some of these and I've actually paid the premium because I don't want to miss out on them, because I don't think these are going to restock in the same way VSTAR Universe is. You also will find some goodies in it, and that's probably why I don't see it restocking. These are going to be harder to manufacture. You get the sleeves, you get the binder with the artwork, and you also get this exclusive Pokemon card frame. If you've ever bought these frames from the Pokemon Center in Japan, you'd know they're very high quality. If you don't like using magnetic cases or one-touches, as some people call them, this is a great alternative. It keeps the dust out, and you get exclusive artwork on it. So you can see Adam in there with Leafeon and Cleffa. It is absolutely stunning. And in the Pearl version, it's the same thing, the sleeves and the binder. And then you got Irida with an Eevee there. It's so cute. Like this is easily the best product launching alongside VSTAR Universe. You only get 4 booster packs in it, which is a bit of a shame. And it does cost 5,000 yen, which is almost the price of a booster box. But I think considering how hard these are going to get maybe after February of 2023, it's worth it. I've overpaid, and I don't mind that being a self-report because I don't want to miss out on these. And I've seen what happens in the past. VMAX Climax, we didn't get a special set like this. Shiny Star V, we got the Nessa Gym set. No one really cared about Japanese Pokemon cards back then, so that was pretty easy to get a hold of. But that only restocked twice. There was 2 waves of that, and the second wave went probably within an hour of it restocking on the Pokemon Center Japan, and then it was gone for good, and now it's really expensive. Granted, you did get 2 booster boxes in that, so that was probably a better value proposition, but it's the same kind of thing. And we also saw a product similar to this with EV Heroes. There was the Gym Box, which also had its initial launch, wave 1, and then it had a second wave a month later. And after that, you weren't able to get any more, and it becomes really expensive. So out of all the products dropping with VSTAR Universe, I'd say this is the one that you want to try and get a hold of sooner rather than later, because frankly, I just don't see it restocking, especially because the stuff like the frame needs to be especially manufactured for the product. So it's harder to get onto shelves compared to a booster box, which you can just print the cards, put them in a box, Bob's your uncle. So what should you do if you want to buy this? I don't even know. I just wanted to present all the information there so you can make a decision for yourself. This isn't financial advice. I kind of just want to teach people and then show you my thought process and then go from there. So for me, like I said, I've got 4 boxes, 2 retail, 2 overpaid. I'm okay with that because I want to have some fun. But then I'm going to wait. I'm going to eat in 2023 and just do it that way. But I am going to get these boxes, or I did at least, so I'm very much so looking forward to those. If you like the video, like, subscribe, and I'll see you when I start ripping this thing open. Till then, thank you so much for your support. Peace out.